evening, everyone. My name is Malcolm and I'm an addict. Thanks for asking me to share, whoever it was. I can't even remember now. They're recording this, but I've been assured that they've got quality control going on here. So hopefully, no one will probably get to hear it, which is good. I'll also, I also have it on. Well, thank you for everyone turning up there. Do you know what I mean? I view every meeting of Cocaine Anonymous as being a celebration of recovery. You know, because if you're sat in here tonight and you haven't drunk or used today, there's something to celebrate, right? And if you're sat in here today and you have drunk or used, I'm celebrating the fact that you're sat in this room, even if you ain't. Yeah. And, I get nervous. I have it on good authority, actually, that Murray was so eager to hear me share that he come to the meeting early. He got here yesterday. He got here a day early. There you go. Well, and maybe this share will kind of prove to some people as well that clean time doesn't equal recovery. It's my clear. I've got Friday. If I make it to Friday, I'll be 21 years. And, I kind of say, well, this is none of my doing. Do you know what I mean? But it kind of is. It's the same thing. It's one of them weird paradoxes. Is, I put in the daily action. I get a relief, a daily reprieve. Do you know what I mean? Which means I get a choice. So it's one of them weird paradoxes, isn't it? If I got a choice in this program, if I work this program, if I do my daily actions, and then I get a choice. If I don't get no choice. And but it's like that doesn't happen straight away. It's not like, if I take a day off, I'm gonna use. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, don't get me wrong. When I first come and walked through this door, it was like that for me. I was holding on for dear life. I was scared to death. And there's no way I was not going to do that stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because I did not want to go back to where I come from. There's nothing left for me back there. There's still nothing left for me back there. And I think you probably all got the same mindset, right? There's nothing left for us back there. Do you know what I mean? But that ain't enough to stop me going back there. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, if I want to use again, all I've got to do is nothing. And I can sit in this room and do that. I really can. Do you know what I mean? Because it's the actions that keep me clean and sober. But it's not just the actions the actions don't just keep me clean and sober, because that's not what I'm here for today. Obviously, that it kind of is, but at the same time, I needed a substitute, and there is the book says in this there is a substitute, and there's so much more. Do you know what I mean? What's on offer in this room tonight, this program, 12 Steps of Recovery, is the possibility of being happy, joyous and free. And why wouldn't you want that? Do you know what I mean? And when I was told that when I walked in, I just thought, hey, fucking liar. So I shouldn't be sharing. And I just thought, lying, because I didn't think that was possible. Do you know what I mean? Because it wasn't in my experience. My experience was, when I wasn't drinking and using, I was miserable as sin. And, it's like when I stop drinking and using, my life gets worse and not better. And what I mean by that is it's like my internal condition just goes sideways. It's tough enough as it is holding it down. Do you know what I mean? But then when I'm out there, I'm just stuck in my mind. I'm tormented by my mind. When I was walking here tonight, to remind myself that my disease is based in my mind and not in your actions, which is because I'll convince myself that it is on a daily basis, but it's not. And it's like, so I'll come in, it's like, say I'm scared to death, and I get hold of this stuff, and it's like, I'm not, I used to take drugs and drink, right? That was something that I'd done that got me here. I don't know if I need to really qualify that. Is there any? Can you raise your hand if you don't know how to drink or use? No? All right, cool. I think we can kind of get over that one then, yeah? Do you know what I mean? Because it's like, so I drunk and used it and I smashed my life to pieces. And you know, it even cost me my life, you know, being brought round in the back of an ambulance, you know, and screaming at the geezer. This is a while ago, and they used to give you adrenaline back then. Do you know what I mean? So you'd come round out of a really nice gouge, go like that, and like I'm awake, I'm back in the room. You know what I mean, motherfucker? You know what I mean? And it's like shit, and it's like, and I'm screaming at the doctor in the back of an ambulance, going, "You've just ruined my buzz." Do you know what I mean? You've just ruined my buzz. And he looked at me and went, "What buzz? You were dead. We've just brought you back." And I just, pull it, and I'm out the back of the ambulance, and I've got to go and score again because I'm straight into, you know, I'm starting to get ill pretty quick, and you know, so that kind of stuff was. I'm not going to say it was a regular occurrence because I don't want to sound like I was some kind of, do you know what I mean? I wasn't. It's like I was just a bog standard junkie. I was a no mark. I was a loser. You know what I mean? It's like, and I wasn't a very pretty loser. I was a sore loser, man. Do you know what I mean? And I was losing it, and you'd pay for that. Everyone, I despised myself with a vengeance, and I took it out on everybody around me. So you know, the drugs and alcohol smashed my life to pieces. But my mindset and the way my head was set up, you know, I was just a victim of my circumstances, and it was your fault. It was the world's fault that I was like I was. Do you know what I mean? And you know, that's one of the greatest things that I understand from going through the 12 steps is that I'm not a victim of my circumstances. I've never been a victim of my circumstances. I'm a product of my decisions, and I've always been a product of my decisions. I just used to make really bad decisions and blame you for it because it was easy. Do you know? And it's like, and obviously I didn't understand what was wrong with me. I didn't understand what was wrong with me. I kind of. You know, and I'd come in, you know, and I went through a treatment centre, I'd come in and I sat around and I just looked at this stuff here and I just thought, oh, mate, you know, I don't know about all that. I think I got like a drug problem, and it's even now, so I used to say, oh, I've got an alcohol drug problem. I never used to say I had an alcohol problem. I told you I was an alcoholic, but I never had an alcohol problem. I used to drink litres of vodka in between narcotics. Do you know what I mean? It was like, it wasn't really a problem because everyone does it right. It's cool. And it's like, all I need to do is stop taking drugs. Do you know what I mean? And so what happened to me is like, so I stopped drinking and taking drugs and I come in here and I sit around in these rooms and I just start getting bored. Get bored, get narky, get angry. Get restless, irritable and discontent, and I just do not know what's happening to me. What's going on? I've stopped using. You know, life should be fun, you know what I mean? And it just greyed out. And there's this thing out there that I had a real bad aversion to. It's called responsibility. You know that one, right? Where you got stuff to do, and it's like, and it's not like I didn't want to do it. It's like I couldn't face it. I couldn't man up enough. See that one? I couldn't man up enough. Do you know what I mean? And even that is like, that implies some kind of, if I had enough self-will that I could run my life successfully. And that's just not the case. What I was lacking was power. I just did not have enough power in my life to be able to live life on a daily basis. And it was just too painful to handle. And like I say, you know, just to show you meeting makers don't make it, that I left a meeting one night, walked in to get into a newsagent to get some tobacco and come out with a bottle of wine. And I didn't go in there for that. Do you know what I mean? But that's what's happened, the peculiar mental twist and the fact that I was destined to relapse because I wasn't taking any action. And there were people around me telling me that, but there was other people around me who told me to just don't use and to keep coming back. And it's like, well, obviously no one had asked me to keep coming back for an awful long time. and apart from the prison cells and the police stations. So I kind of thought, you know what? There's, like I said, these two groups, and there's this big group, and they're going, just don't use, keep coming back. It's the first one that does the damage. And there's this little group, and they're going, yeah, but what you got to do is stay, get a sponsor, get your ass through the steps, get a home group, get some service, you know, get giving this stuff away, get a vital spiritual experience. And I'm like thinking, yeah, AB. It's like, yeah, I ain't doing this. It's like this is easy. I'll just sit over here with it, just keep coming back, and I'll just go to meeting, and I'll be all right, and I'll just don't use. And what I found, a bitter experience, is that keep coming back, and it's the first one that does the damage, is bullshit. Dangerous to an adult like me with a twofold illness. I know some people see that, oh, should I say that? I know some people sat in the rooms have only got a one-fold illness, but you know what? And they can just don't use. Bless them. They're welcome. You know what I mean? Welcome. You know what I mean? And I ain't here to qualify them people. They ain't got to do. They ain't got to do what I got to do. But what happened to me? Like I said, I got restless, irritable, and discontent, and I picked up. So, like I said, what that message they were passing out. Not only was it dangerous to me, like I say, it was bullshit. Because what I found out is wasn't the first one that does the damage. It's having no mental defence against the thought to take the first one. That's what does the damage. That's what done the damage for me. I ended up, you know, I got back. You know, it was a weird one because I didn't think I was allowed back. Strange, isn't it? I didn't think I was allowed back. It's almost like, I think, did my ego allow me back? You know, it's like, by the time I was done, I was done. Do you know what I mean? When I was done, it was like, and it's like, I'd like to think I've never really cared about what anyone give a monkey's about what anyone particularly thinks of me. But that's a lie. Do you know what I mean? That's just me lying to myself. Do you know what I mean? It's like that one, innit? I still suffer from that stuff nowadays. Like, I'll do the right thing by them, you know what I mean? And it's like, but what happens there is like, I put someone else's welfare in front of my own. And then as you move through that, what happens is I get resentful. Do you know what I mean? And it's your fault. But again, I'm a product of my decisions. See, that's called people pleasing. The thing is, show me someone who's pleased. Because when that shit comes out in the wash, ain't no motherfucker fools, ain't no one pleased. No one pleased. Do you know what I mean? So it's like I'll kind of learn through big experience just to stand up and tell the truth in the first place. Do you know what I mean? And you know, that one, the truth will set you free, but it'll piss you off first. You know, and so I managed to come back and I threw myself into this stuff, and I got myself a sponsor, and he took me through the steps, and I haven't seriously considered drinking or using since that day. You know, there's the miracle. There's the miracle, and I ain't gonna say, I ain't that, you know, we can bandy that word around, but for me, personally, in my life, that's a miracle. And I can sit up here and I see miracles all around me, because I don't even know, I hear people's stories and what they've come through, and I watch people come in and relapse and make it back, and I see God's work. I see God's work. I see miracles sat in this room. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, so I don't I don't take this stuff too lightly. One thing I will say is that I'm not a well man, which is a great place to be. Because if I'm not well, I've got something to recover from, right? Do you know what I mean? Because I'm in recovery. So I'm recovering one day at a time. Now, you know, today I've been recovered several times, and as I walked through that door up there, I wasn't very recovered at all. And you know, and I'm pretty sure by the time I feel this meeting, I'll be pretty damn recovered. You know, and let's see, there it is, right there. What's the bullshit my mind comes up with? Do you know what I mean? Just lies to me, because that's what I'm up against. You know, my disease hides in my thoughts. You know, I'd like to say the session's been removed, but actually it's just shifted. It's gone undercover, and it comes at me sideways, very sneakily. But you know, we've got something wrong with your hands, son. All right, okay, yeah, cool, yeah. So it comes at me like, you know, and it's just about being conscious to that. And the only way I can be conscious of that is by working these steps in my life. You know, for me, like the 6 and 7 going through the day is just so vitally important, because it, you know, it allows me to stop in my 6, you know, when my defects when I become aware of my defects, and let God in the moment so I don't act out my shortcomings. And that's kind of vitally important for me, just the same as all the steps are, you know. And you know, like step 11, you know, there's a wise man once said to me a long time ago, you know, miss out step 11 at your peril, you know, and I kind of thought, and I was given a list of books to read, and I just went, they're laters, you know, and as I've gone along, it's like that's what gets me closer to God of my understanding. And it's like, if you ask me do I believe God exists, I'd say no. But there's a possibility he might, so I act like he does. Do you know what I mean? And that's all I need. That's all I need to do the next right thing. And that's kind of what works in my life. You know, it is a privilege to be here. You know, I was speaking to someone on the phone just about an hour ago, and he's like, what do we call these people? Fallen soldiers, right? Do you know what I mean? Now, he's a close pal. I've got so much love for this guy, and he was in these rooms for a long time, about over 10 years, and he's been out there for about 7 years. And I phoned him up tonight, and he's in hospital. So in a hospital bed, man. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, just to hear the shift and the willingness that I hadn't heard for some time, it just kind of, it fills me up, man. Do you know what I mean? It's like to see people come in and get this in. I'm very privileged position that I'm able to sponsor now, and there's nothing better, and you know, for me than there's nothing more altruistic that we can do is to help another human being. But to help another human being get over this disease and get a life. Get their family back or not, whatever God has in store for them, but see the light come on in their eyes and see them, you know, there's nothing better. Do you know what I mean? I live a life of sane and happy usefulness most of the time these days, and it's all down to these 12 steps and continuous action. I mean, so at Christmas, just after Christmas, I injured myself, and I couldn't work for 6 weeks. So I couldn't get out. I couldn't get out of bed. I couldn't get off the sofa. I couldn't get off the sofa for about 3 weeks. I couldn't walk, and it crippled me. And it's like one of them ones, isn't it? It's like when I need to do this, doing this stuff when the sun's shining, right, is easy. But doing this stuff when it's like that, see, that's when I need to do it the most, and that's when it's the hardest. But that's what I make sure I do. And like I say, you know, this ain't a recovery competition, by the way. Do you know what I mean? It's all right. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay not to be okay, because obviously, and again, I've been around a couple of weeks now, and I you know, I've seen people come up and they can smash these shares out and they sound great, and then 2 months later they ain't even here. Do you know what I mean? They ain't even here, because it's like that. It's so, for me, it's so subtle, that play and the actor stuff. It's so subtle for me to project of me to be something I think you want me to be. Do you know what I mean? It's so kind of so subtle, that stuff creeps in. But hopefully that ain't me. Sat here right now, I do believe, and you know, like I say, so sometimes this stuff, you know, it gets dark, but you know, the darker the night, the brighter the day, right? This too shall pass. We always come out the other side. sometimes you've got to dig in to do it. And like I say, who knows God's will for me? He does. But what I do know is that God's will for me is better than anything I've been able to come up with up to this present point. And thanks for letting me share.
Thank you, man.